I'm Jennifer McGee, and I'm in curriculum and instruction. It's a good question. I do a lot of applied research, so my interests are varied, but STEM education, I work a lot with K-12 schools. I do program evaluation, and classroom assessment is another interest of mine. I'm working on several things right now. Right now I have I work interdisciplinary a lot, so I have a project that is with some folks over in rec management about nature and self-efficacy and rec management majors. I also have some stuff with the Gear Up program on campus, looking at some of their outcomes. Yeah. I still remember being a doc student, which is nice. I graduated in 2012, so it feels nice to work with students and be able to help them meet their goals if they want to be in academia or if they want to go back and try to get a better job or move into a different field. It's just nice to help somebody kind of think about what they want to do and be a guiding force in that if I can. Oh gosh, I have a lot of advice, so you should come see me, but I think my two biggest pieces of advice would be to find a faculty mentor really early, somebody that you share interests with, that you can meet with and kind of talk to about your ideas. Even if they're not exactly the same, they can kind of guide you. And then my second piece of advice would be to think about how long you want to be in the program and really make a plan for finishing, because that's also something life gets in the way sometimes. So make a plan.
Hi, I'm Teresa Redmond, and I'm in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction. I have a lot of different interests and projects, all related to media literacy and digital literacy and information literacy. Right now, I'm looking at how media making serves as an expressive process through which students can engage in inquiry in critical literacy. I'm also looking at sustainability issues related to media. Media literacy has historically left out or neglected the impact of our media devices and our kind of ecology of media in the mind and how this impacts the climate crisis. So I'm doing some action research related to that. And most exciting, perhaps, is looking at how media literacy actually changes the way we think. So I'm examining how media literacy increases the complexity of the types of questions and the kinds of questions we ask when we're engaged with media. It's a lot. I've had a handful of doc students take my graduate course elective, Global Perspectives in Media and Technology. I have a new elective that might be of interest about critical literacies and research. And I think what I like most about working with you all is that you have very defined professional interests, but are flexible and open to other emerging ways of moving forward in your fields. And so the process is dynamic and it's creative and it's student-centered. What advice do I have? I would recommend that you get to know your cohort really well and develop some kind of structure early on to stay in touch. And this way you can anchor each other in the program as you move through your core courses, your electives, and your research. And through this, develop a support structure of folks who understand the experience you're going through. Thanks so much.
So I'm Dr. Stacy Garrett. I'm in Leadership and Educational Studies, and I teach in the higher education program.
What are your research interests?
So I focus on the experiences of students, faculty, and staff of color in predominantly white institutions, and looking at how we can create climates that are welcoming and inclusive for everyone.
So what are you working on right now?
Right now, I am working on a project with some folks at Clemson University, exploring the experiences of faculty of color on the tenure track and their aspirations to full professor. So we're looking at associate professors that are continuing on or not continuing on in that pursuit of full professorship based on their current experiences.
What do you love about working with the doctoral program?
So far, it's been really fun to get back involved. I'm currently serving on 2 committees, and so just seeing the work that folks are doing from a practitioner standpoint. So both students that I'm working with right now are currently in the Division of Student Affairs and are pursuing their experiences and really crafting a research agenda and a research project that's really, I think, going to advance our knowledge of how we're training other student affairs professionals and how they're moving into the field. So since I have a background in student affairs, and that's where I got my start, I'm really excited to help advance the research in that area and support these students.
What advice do you have for doctoral students?
I would say just be open as much as you can to all the coursework. So whether it's something that's you think is going to be aligned with what you want to do or what you're trying to study or the way that you want to study it, just be open to learning new opportunities and new options. A lot of folks get stuck in the idea of I'm going to do a research study or dissertation based on this method, and they go in only focused on that, and then it completely shifts at some point in your coursework. So just remain open to the experience and learn as much as you can and enjoy the process while you're in it.
My name is Patrick O'Shea. I am an Associate Professor of Instructional Technology in the Leadership and Educational Studies Department.
And what are your research interests?
I work mostly with augmented and virtual realities, studying immersive environments in educational settings.
And what are you working on right now?
Right now I'm doing a comparative analysis of all of the commercially available augmented reality apps in both the Google and Android, the Android and iOS operating systems.
And what do you love about working with doctoral programs?
Oh, you could have prompted me with that. I actually really enjoy working with doctoral students because of their unique needs in learning the process of becoming an academic. And I think that there's a lot of potential in helping people to realize their dreams that way.
And what advice do you have for the doctoral students?
Start working on your research interests early in your classwork. That's the best advice I can give you. Start being systematic about how you're going to approach your dissertation as soon as you start taking classes, so that every class you take can be built towards that.
Thanks so much.
Damiana Piles, Curriculum and Instruction.
And what are your research interests?
My research interests are primarily looking at how people communicate with each other, especially young people, in multimodalities, semiotics, literacies.
And what are you working on right now?
Right now I'm doing a few studies. One of them is looking at kindergarten classrooms and how literacy is working in science. I'm also looking at how parents and teachers think about literacies in preschool classrooms. And I'm working on a project about farming and Instagrams.
What do you love about working with doctoral students?
I think they bring such a rich background and really excited curiosity about what they're thinking about and learning about.
And what advice do you have for the doctoral students?
Read. Read as many people as you can and learn all of the community in your discourse.
I'm Barbara Howard, and my department is Leadership and Educational Studies.
What are your research interests?
My research interests are varied, but primarily in international education, assessment in higher education, and assessment in K-12 schools, leadership, and program assessment.
And what are you working on right now?
Currently, I'm working on the development of an international certificate in leadership, and I'm working on the development of program assessment and course assessment for our students in our program.
And what do you love about working with the doctoral program?
I love the enthusiasm, the passion, the hopes for what they can accomplish, and I love helping them get there. I'm a graduate of this program. I was graduated of cohort number 2.
What advice do you have for the doctoral students?
Keep your life balanced.
So, hello, my name is Chris Cook. I am in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction, and I have a few questions I'm supposed to answer here. What are my research interests? I am primarily interested in middle grades education, specifically dealing with anything that relates to middle grade schools or young adolescents, so that sort of 10 to 15-year-old child and the schooling experiences they receive. What I'm currently working on right now are actually a couple different projects. One looking at, I guess, primarily qualitative research, as case studies looking at schools that are doing things well in educating young adolescents, looking at specific programs, and also looking at universities who provide special preparation for middle grades teachers. That's actually not a common thing. So finding programs that specialize in middle grades teacher preparation and highlighting their programs is another research area. What do I love working about doc students or in the doc program? Really just being a part of understanding research and how we can investigate to solve some issues or learn more about an issue that needs to be addressed, and really just having that opportunity to be a part of it at the beginning stages as you develop a love for research. What advice do you have for doc students? Take advantage of everything and read as much as you can and ask lots of questions. Thanks. If I can ever help, let me know.
Hey, my name is Lisa Gross, and I'm in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction. My research includes science inquiry with English language learners in the elementary school, and my other research interest is how physical space impacts routines and regulations in a school environment. Right, what am I working on right now? I'm still working on some data analysis of the science notebooks that we did with students and their progression in writing by using the science notebooks. I don't have much opportunity to work with the doctoral program because not many people have the same interest in my research. And what advice do I have for doctoral students? And that would be, as probably has been recommended more than once, you better have a planner so that you know where you need to be on any given day. That's my advice.
So my name is Jordan. My home department is HPC, Human Development and Psychological Counseling. What are my research interests? My primary research interests are relationships created, maintained, and terminated in the online space and in online video games, social media, things like that. But I also do a lot of work with inclusive excellence, social justice, those types of things. What am I working on right now? Trying not to get fired. But other than that, that's about it. That's about it. What do I love about working with the doctoral program? I love all the things that I learn, all the new things that you all teach me. I love reading dissertations. It's fantastic. It's amazing. It's amazing to see, the depth and breadth of knowledge that comes from doctoral students. What advice would I have for doctoral students? It's a marathon, not a sprint. Slow and steady. Progress, not perfection.
Hi, I'm Tracy Goodson Espy, and I'm the interim director of the doctoral program. My main area of content area research is mathematics education. Right now I'm wrapping up a project with Teacher Professional Development, a grant with the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation. And typically I do work in mathematics education, teacher professional development. In my role in the doctoral program, I typically work with students on projects beyond mathematics education. I do have a couple of students now who are working on mathematics education projects at the community college level. But I also have a student who is doing a dissertation on PBIS. She's a assistant principal at the elementary level, and I also have another student who's doing work in student development. So a variety of projects, and I'm interested in working with them all. What advice do I have? Well, obviously from what we're doing here, it's a good idea to get a chair and a committee as soon as you can in your process, because that will help you narrow in on a topic, and that will help you get through the process more quickly.
Dr. Osmond, Chris Osmond. I'm Associate Professor, Leadership Educational Studies. I'm the Associate Director of the doctoral program this year, and I love working with doc students. My research interests are mainly burnout prevention and interprofessional education. I did a lot of work in med school before coming here, and I'm interested in the way that they train doctors to not burn out and how we can bring those ways of talking about burnout over to teachers. I'm a qualitative researcher. I care a lot about equity and restorative justice and social justice issues. My main teaching is undergrads in social foundations, and I love working with the doc program because it's great to be present at the creation of new scholars. So talk to you soon. Thanks.